Hi, Marty McGee here with this project called threed.ai. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about here. These are the two separate applications that are working together. So we've got the sort of server side over here running WordPress 602, and a couple of plugins that we use have updates coming up. WooCommerce, e-commerce connects to this. Security, of course. The design, but not at all. So this is a WordPress theme page builder. We don't really care about that in this situation. So I'm going to jump over to the WordPress dashboard. There's a lot of stuff going on. This is a local website. Let's call it website 1. Garden University local. And then over here we have website 2, which is in this case threed.garden.com, and this is a demo JavaScript app running through an index.html file. So I'm using WordPress as the backend or the data source, and the communication lines called REST API and GraphQL. So inbuilt is the WP REST API, and GraphQL is a simple free plugin that also comes with WordPress if you want it. So we can talk to WordPress in two totally different languages via JavaScript. So we're also running pods over here, which is a WordPress custom post types and fields and taxonomies plugin. I think it's the best, and it's fully open source. Of course, you can donate to the project. I recommend that. I recommend you donate to a lot of these projects, and they all work together very well. Here's just a branding. I call it the admin design plugin, so that we have control over how this menu looks in WordPress, and what we want to see up here and what colors we want to see on buttons and stuff. That's all this really does here. And then you can have other plugins like Slider Revolution, an affiliates plugin, whatever you want. So this is what website 1 is doing. Most importantly, I want to focus on 3D Garden here. And so here is just a plugin to a WordPress website with all of these different custom post types and taxonomies. So here's actually a custom post type as a taxonomy. And I'll explain that later. But you have both. So we call this plugin 3D Garden. And you can find it under plugins here. It's called 3D Garden. It loads this, gets a custom icon here, and then it has this sort of taxonomy or taxonomical structure to the whole app. The whole plugin is scenes, allotments, beds, plants, planting plans, which are where those plants go into the beds, and then a whole bunch of other stuff. So we can introduce characters, and we can introduce calendars and events. We can introduce anything, all using WordPress custom post types and taxonomies and categories. So I'll just jump over to chickens. We could create a chicken and point it over here. So that's the whole point. Is that we want to be able to edit or build from a data point of view a chicken and have it show up as a 3-dimensional object supported in the World Wide Web over here in this other website, this website 2's second website. And this could be a WordPress site, but it doesn't have to be. This isn't actually. This is just a regular website. Funny word, but it's a non-WordPress website. It's running JavaScript, and it's talking through index.html. So all of this, we want this to work with this. We like this data over here. We like the interface, but we don't like the interaction with it on the client side. So what we want to do is be able to drag a cat. Sorry, going too fast here. Let's go ahead and load this demo here. We want to be able to, load a real life demo and drag a cat over to, the pool or the living room. Oh, he's at the ping pong table. So we want to be able to move this cat around, right? In a sufficient interface. So this is 2D, this is 3D, and we're using threed.js here, a lot of different stuff, React, threed.js. And so I'm writing code to have this be able to talk to this. And so then we're going to jump over to, I'm going to stop the video here at 6 minutes and 20 seconds, 21, 22, 23, and talk about this more. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on here. We've got building materials, textures, real things, objects coming in from wherever, right? You can bring them in there. They might be real cars. They might be, Tesla cars that you drag over, or, an export from a farm design from here, right? So you might want to export beds as objects and bring them in here and start designing over here, and then back and forth and back and forth. So that's really what I'm trying to do. I think it goes hand in hand with other basic principles of marketing. We're just talking about 3D marketing here. We're saying, hey, everything is an object that can be sellable, that can be distributed, that has a tag, a meta tag, an annotation. I mean, you can literally add as many notes as you want, right? So that's what I'm working on as well. Is you can say, hey, cat annotated at, buy this cat as a ceramic statue at Home Depot for $179, or I drew this when I was bored, something, any sort of, words and connections. And what I mean by that is that everything is coming in from other sources, right? And these licenses come in handy. Well, handy. A lot of people have put a lot of time into which license they're going to use. And these objects usually come in as Creative Commons, CC 3.0, Creative Commons. And so you get these, licenses and stuff. And all we really need to do is make sure that we link to the original, designer or blend or author. And so we have Blender down here. If we wanted to open this object, we could open up Blender. I just did, and it's going to take all my RAM, but it works. So I'm really excited to show everybody this. This is really client-based, right? So we're just talking about interacting with client objects and being able to talk to everything. I can't show you everything here, NDAs, but I can show you, sort of what I'm working on and the gist, give you the idea of, a product might be that cat at Home Depot, add new product. Okay, coming up on 10 minutes here on video here. Only 2 screens we talked about. There's a ton of other stuff, of course, going back to, wanting to show scenes like this and having landing pages for each of those scenes built into WordPress. And it's going to cut me off once I click on this, but that's what I'm talking about.